So let's hear from the brilliant minds who are present by my side here today, who will share their insights and knowledge with all of us. Let me introduce you to all of them. Let's start with Kevin. Kevin, say hi. Kevin is the director and founder of the Center for Responsible Tourism Singapore, the country's first and only consultancy and training center dedicated exclusively to responsible tourism. With over 20 years of experience as a lecturer, consultant, and sustainability advocate, Kevin is one of Singapore's few recognized specialists in responsible and regenerative travel. His expertise lies in integrating sustainable tourism with development, focusing on critical issues like climate change, global warming, and living cultures. In addition to his tourism work, Kevin is a motivational speaker who draws from his personal journey of overcoming obstacles and physical challenges to inspire others. He also consults for SMEs and serves as a board member of the Asian Ecotourism Network. Kevin is also the Singapore representative of Green Destinations. Let's go with Dr. Yu. Could you say hi to the audience? Okay. Dr. Yu is the director of the International Cooperation Team at the Korean Tourism Organization, KTO, where he oversees tourism ODA's programs and collaborates with international bodies such as Asian, OECD, PATA, TPO, and APEC. From 2022 to 2025, he served as an executive director of KTO Los Angeles office, leading inbound marketing efforts, MICE promotion, and cross-industry initiatives. With a career at KTO spanning more than 2 decades, he has been posted in Germany and at the Diamond Mountain branch office in North Korea. Dr. Yu holds a PhD in tourism from Hanyang University and a master's in tourism from George Washington University. We continue with Stefano Ravelli. Stefano is the president of the GSTC Italy Working Group and a leading figure in sustainable tourism, with over 20 years of experience in destination management. His career has been marked by a strong commitment to aligning tourism development with the well-being of local communities, most notably through his leadership of Valsugana Lagorai in Trentino. Under his guidance, Valsugana became the first destination in the world to achieve GSTC certification in 2019, setting a global example for sustainability and practice. Stefano has played a key role in promoting international sustainability standards across Italy, fostering collaboration between public and private sectors, and encouraging integrated approaches that link environmental care, social inclusion, and economic vitality. He has also represented Italy in international forums and was instrumental in establishing the Sustainable Tourism District of Trentino, helping to strengthen cooperation between destinations through a shared vision for responsible tourism. We continue with Woody. Woody is a park ranger who has worked for the Korean National Park Service, KNPS, for 7 years, focusing on the planning and operation of community cooperation projects to promote sustainable protected area management. She is also engaged in international activities such as ODA projects and the Convention of Biological Diversity, CBD, through the Headquarters International Cooperation Development. Currently pursuing graduate studies in sustainability in the KDI School of Public Policy and Management, Woody is particularly interested in developing local community-based programs that support both conservation and local resilience. Before we start, I want to say that this year we're introducing Snapsite for the first time. It's a tool that's designed to enhance engagement by capturing session highlights and generating transcripts. You can see the slide with the QR code there. If you scan it, it will allow you to access the content afterwards. Also, I want to mention that, as always, we'll be using Slido to gather your questions during the Q&A portion of the panel. So you can go to www.slido.com, enter GSTC2025, and choose the correct room, in this case, orchid, the flower, and type in your question. Okay, let's start. Kevin, the floor is all yours.
Hello. Thank you. And good afternoon. Most of you still look very fierce. Huh? So if you could smile a bit so that I won't feel so tense. Yeah. Turn to the neighbor, to the one next to you, and tell him or her you're in the right panel. Yeah. And I notice I'm wearing the same shirt. Yeah. I come from the smallest country in Southeast Asia, and it's my first time to this part of the world. I was so excited. So I'm the Asia rep for green destinations. Sustainable tourism is something quite new. In the country where I come from, the government only started talking about it 7-8 years ago. So those days when I used to talk about this towards sustainable tourism, responsible tourism, half the time I feel like the other party thinks that I come from Mars. Not so much anymore. It's a topic that is growing. So I want to center my 7-minute, 8-minute speech around two key points. What do we mean by encouraging responsibility and the complexities and the challenges when it comes to this thing called encouraging responsibility? So I can see you look a bit more cheerful now, and I feel less tense. I happen to be in the other room where Emma Padilla, sorry if I get the surname pronounced incorrectly, from Booking.com. And I was so thankful that I was in that panel listening to what she had to say. And I'm going to cross-reference to what she says once or twice. Quite a big part of what I'm going to say in the 7-8 minutes centers around communication. I want to start off with the first of the 2 points. What is encouraging responsibility and why it is crucial? And I want to tell you that most of what I have to share is nothing new to most people here. A lot of things that I'm going to share, I've learned it from most of you here. I've read your writing, I've read your post, I've learned from some of you here, one way or another. I've read your writing, and so the knowledge that I'm sharing shouldn't be anything new to most people here. When I was a young parent, I still look young, but I'm not so young. I'm inching towards my big 50, although I still look 25, right? Please say yes. Yes. Yeah. New Age parenting tells us that we should be encouraging our children. I'm sorry, I don't come from that period of time where my parents always has positive, nice things to say to us, But what I learned when my kids were growing up, they're not so small anymore. They're 18 and 15 now. But when they were 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, we were told not to use certain words. Minimize your usage of words like no, don't. Try and cut out these words. It's not good for the child. So from my work and from my time as a traveler, I've discovered that the last maybe 10 years, especially the last 10 years, we are seeing more and more examples of different destinations and places, attractions, destinations, and sites. They are increasingly trying to fine-tune the communications that they have with us, the travelers, The lady from Booking.com, Emma, was showing 1 or 2 slides, and I also use it in my time in the classroom. Survey done by Forbes and Booking.com show almost similar findings in the last 6 to 8 years, I think. The studies were carried out largely the last 6, 7, 8 years. There is an increasingly trend of young people. And I don't really think this is only about young people, It can also be talking about people in their 40s or 50s, like some of us here, choosing to travel responsibly. So that didn't happen during my parents' time. My parents belonged to a period of time in history where travel was something that involves shopping and taking photos, and that's it. That's about it. It didn't really happen during my time. Yeah, I was born in the 1970s, so I remember the first time I heard about sustainable tourism was when I was maybe in my 30s. You are talking to a crowd of people who knows probably much more than we did when we were younger, when we were at their ages. The two studies were, I think, focusing on Gen Z. Gen Z is people who are between 18 to 29 or 28. I would like to think that across the board, we are looking at the travelers who are more educated. They grew up learning and reading about sustainability, even if they don't study travel tourism, like some of us here. So there is a significance and importance towards communicating responsibility. It's a bit easier because you're talking to groups of people who roughly know what you're talking about, why they should do this and why they shouldn't do this, why they shouldn't go beyond this part of the destination, and why why they should or shouldn't be doing certain things when they find themselves in a certain spot in a destination. I guess it's probably more difficult than if we were to do it in the past. Afterwards, I'll share about what I feel are the complexities or the challenges of this whole thing about encouraging responsibility. So I think it's important. It's important. And we see it being done very creatively these days. You know, we use social media, we use Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And my second point is towards the challenges. Why it could be something that is not straightforward, because a rural village in Vietnam operates quite characteristically quite different from one maybe in South America, you know, because the ethnic groups in Vietnam or Thailand might not be so similar to the ones in South America. Yeah, so I think that's one of the many things that makes encouraging responsibility quite a complicated thing. I was saying that quite a big part of encouraging responsibility is communication. And we're seeing a lot of places now trying different ways to put to bring the message across, you know. Doing it in a way that is respectful, doing it in a way that tells the story, doing it in a way that is encouraging, doing it in a way that makes the traveler think, doing it in a way that is ethical, doing it in a way that empowers not just the travelers, but perhaps the communities that the traveler is going to visit. I think one of the challenges when it comes to encouraging responsibility, because one big part of doing that is communicating. Somehow, I think along this process comes this thing called greenwashing. Most of us here in this room know more or less one or two things about greenwashing. Yeah, I think there's a relationship between communicating responsibility and greenwashing. How do you do it in a way that is not exaggerated? You know, how do you do it in a way that doesn't put too much pressure on the hotel, on the tour operator? Yeah, I can see that my time is up. My wife, I told her that I'm speaking, and she gave me this advice. Please keep it short and sweet. Don't talk too much, and don't crack your stupid jokes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I agree with you. We have to encourage all ages to travel responsibly, and that age should not be inconvenience, you know? And that we have to lead by example for our little ones. Okay, next is Dr. Yu. All yours.
It's sorry. It's really great honor for me to be here. This is very meaningful and timely conference relating to the this topic. Actually, over the past 20 more years, KTO has been carrying out various activities for sustainable tourism development, and such as ecotourism development and promotion related to these PR activities. Among them, I will present the contents of KTO's various PR activities to increase participation in responsible tourism and raise awareness among the public. Before diving into detailed PR contents, I will divide into PR for domestic market and divide into foreign tourists and present the domestic project first. KTO has executed eco-tour campaign to raise public interest in responsible tourism and induce actual tourism behavior. We have made various efforts to create and spread of tourism behavior centered on eco-friendly activities in order to induce the public to minimize environmental damage, respect local culture, and reduce carbon emissions at tourist destinations. Among the responsible tourism campaigns carried out solely by KTO, the representative one is the Inconvenient Travel Campaign, which advocated zero carbon emissions and implies that the Earth will be more comfortable as a result. Inconvenient Travel Method Challenge, in which people suggested their inconvenient travel methods on social media, such as on their personal Instagrams with photos, videos, and illustrations with the hashtags inconvenient travel method or every corner of Korea. Promotions were also done through celebrities who are usually interested in the environment. The famous author Jung Se-rang, left side of the famous the TV series Schoolers An Eun-young, and author Kim Kang-eun, who is famous for 9 Numbers Camino, and a Clean Hike participated in the challenge and promoted the campaign. The responsible tourism event held in collaboration with the Jeju Tourism Organization is a bit more unique. In order to stimulate public interest and direct action, it was developed as an eco-friendly behavior reward game. The event, called Red Coral Mystery, is an outdoor mission game where participants work and enjoy a path that is not often visited by people and solve cash. It features red coral, one of the representative ecological indicators of Jeju Island Sea, and structured to suggest that we can find our treasures when we protect Jeju's sea environment. KTO has been working to spread out eco-friendly travel culture by creating a ESG dedicated team since 2016. It promotes the usage of a travel carbon emissions calculation application and carries out the Think, Earth, and Earth. I'm not sure the pronunciation, very similar. Think, Earth, and Earth campaign. Every year with the vision that travel that thinks about the Earth is for all of us. It carries out various national participation events such as travel destination cleanup activities such as plugging and ploving. Ploving is picking up trash and diving. Eco-friendly camping practice SNS events, working toward challenges linked to eco-friendly recommended travel destination and events for collecting recyclables and exchanging eco-friendly products. KTO held an online event called Find Out About My Travel Carbon Emissions through the website named Korea Everywhere. KTO contributed to the spread of responsible tourism culture through environmental awareness in cooperation with other sectors. In collaboration with the Environmental Foundation, carried out the Sea Neck campaign, a trash beachcombing activity at popular beaches on the East Coast. Sea Neck is a compound word of the word sea and snack, and provided ocean-related snacks as a reward for picking up beach trash. Under the keyword of snack stores where ocean trash becomes money, it held event for tourists at Yangyang, Gangneung, and Jumunjin and Sokcho every 7 days in turn. 10% of the weight of the trash was turned into snacks shaped like whales and other marine creatures. In addition, KTO also carried out the Korea Trail plugging campaign, Korea Trail, which is called in Korean 둘레길, with a 4,500 kilometer long distance walking trail connecting the eastern, western, and southern part of Korea and the northern part of DMZ border between North and South Korea, in cooperation with the Korea Central Volunteer Center from July to November. The campaign differentiates itself from existing plugging campaigns by allowing individuals to register their trash collected on the Korea Trail through the data plugging website and receive official recognition for volunteer hours based on the amount collected, distance traveled, and time recorded. We have been making also another efforts to spread eco-friendly tourism culture among inbound tourists. Most recently, in mid-May of this year, we attracted 12,000 people with the theme of eco-friendly practice tourism in Korea, with the famous cheerleaders Lee Ah-young and Lee Da-hye, who are very popular in Taiwan. And for example, on July 9th, cheerleader Lee Ah-young cleaned the beach with 90 Taiwanese tourists at Haeundae Beach in Busan and had a fan meeting in the afternoon. Starbucks Korea provided tumblers for this event to promote eco-friendly travel. Last but not least, we have been trying to spread out eco-friendly responsible tourism to overseas. KTO has invited 30 tourism officers from 10 developing countries to Korea every year since 2018. This capacity building program has been executed under the title of the Korea Tourism ODA, the brand name of KOPIST, which is an abbreviation for the Korea Partnership Initiative for Sustainable Tourism. After 3-week-long training, KTO held an action plan contest. A first prize winner country will be received in-depth consulting, develop PCP with Korean SDGs developers, and finally proceed to the next stage of 2 to 4 billion Korean won worth of joint tourism development. In US dollar, about 1 to 3 million US dollar. In 2024, the eco-friendly tourist rest center was completed in the Habarana region of Sri Lanka, and based on this facility, eco-friendly tourism programs are being sold to domestic and foreign tourists at major transit points to the surrounding Kandy, Sigiriya, and Trincomalee, Dambola. Eco-friendly tourism activities such as selling eco-friendly local food, respect and experience local culture, and trekking tours are establishing themselves as an additional source of income. Currently, the second eco-friendly CBT project is underway in the Kara region, the right side, and region 3 of the Philippines, and is scheduled to be carried out from this year to 2027 with a budget of about $3 million US. In addition, Vietnam was selected as the best AP country this year and will develop a new eco-friendly CBT project from November to next year, February. KTO will continue to work to realize global SDGs by conducting various campaigns, collaborating with other industries, and advancing overseas to spread environmental awareness and responsible tourism activities to both eco-friendly tourists and to the general public. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yu. What wonderful initiatives. I love the Red Coral project where you used e-gaming to connect with Gen Z. Thought that was brilliant. Thank you. Let's continue with Stefano.
Hello, thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here. It was also a good excuse to come and visit the Fiji island, since it's really a long way from Italy to come here, and I don't know how much it was sustainable, but anyway, I'm here, and for that reason I have to thank you. And I would like to share with you some example of what we have done to communicate in a better way to tourists what it means to be a hotel that is sustainable, certified as a sustainable hotel, and also as a destination. But I would like to know if how many of you are running a destination? 1, 2, okay, and 3, and because it's really difficult to manage a destination. So we approached the sustainability issue back in 2017 in Italy, in the north of Italy, and we were the first destination in Valsugana in Trentino to be certified. And I realized that was really difficult, that process. So since the beginning, I decided to share that experience with other destinations. And by sharing and collaborate, we find a common model and activity that enhance us to promote and communicate in a better way to tourists. It's a problem that we have, it's a difficulty that we have everywhere. After many years, and I still haven't found out that there are many tourists coming to our destination or to our hotel because we have been certified, but for sure in communicating it has a great value, and that's important to communicate in a better way. So one key issue that I want to face with you is that sustainability is not a matter, or is not a choice, it's a must. It's something that we have to do. Sometimes when I started to promote this process, I thought sustainability was something that would have gave me an advantage in communicating to differentiate my destination to many others. But now I understand that is a must, and we have to do it. For this reason, this is an example of a regional destination that is explaining to tourists why they are sustainable and why they are going in that direction, and why are helping also smaller destination and hotel to have one common way of communicating. It's really important to use the same word. This is a destination on the Garda Lake in the north of Italy that it has a claim: nature is not a place to visit, it's his home, it's our home. Sometimes we are talking about having good kind of tourists to choose the one that are more aware of what sustainability means. But then, are we the right tourists for this destination? It's also important to see what we are willing to do. It was really interesting today to see how the island are not just sea and sand, but it's also walking and experiences what the villages are to offer. I came 2 days before the Congress started, so I had the chance to go up in the mountains and living a real experience, and that is something that I will bring back. Because seeing how a community lives without energy, without sharing animals, and is something that we don't have anymore in Italy, and is something that we have to maybe to look back to be prepared for the future. And this is also a challenge, we have to tell to our tourists how they should behave. Do we behave as tourists in a sustainable way? So destinations are working also on doing that and sharing this with the hotels and industry and working on the common issue. It was nice to see that Mr. Yu was also presenting a project of plugging, and we are doing that. This is another destination doing that. And I like also this one that we found here. So we are basically following the same path, the same way of communicating, and it's really an opportunity to be here with GSTC because it seems that sometimes we start a path, and it seems like that we are on our own, but then you see that different areas in different parts of the world are following that path. And that path is a common path, so we have to share experiences. Even here, it's a simple example. Sometimes we eat bananas, and then it's an organic litter, so we just leave it into the forest, but it takes 2 years to disappear. Sometimes we don't realize that. But as a tourist, when we are walking up in the mountains, we see the banana leftovers. And the more bananas I will be able to see, the more bananas we are sure that we will find. Because if you find a place that is clean, you have a tendency to leave it here more cleaner than what you have found it. This example is an example that we gave to tourists, and we gave them a package, a pair of clean gloves. So when they go hiking in the mountains, they are able to do that on their own. This is another issue. We organize every month or 2 months in different locations a plugging day, so where we go together and collect the waste that has left in the mountains. And even that is what Mr. Yu said. It's nice also to have a reward for the people that are taking part in these activities. And it's unbelievable how tourists, before coming to the destination, they are not really reactive to what the destination is offering in terms or to the hotel in terms of sustainability project. But when you take them to the forest and to experience that, they are really happy to be involved. And they become the first ambassadors, the first one to communicate why your hotel is different from another, why your destination is different from another. We had a massive windstorm in 2018, and in 15 minutes, more than 3 million trees that had between 100 and 200 years fell down. And we involve tourists to come and pay for the tree and to take them directly to replant these activities. We have done this with tourists, we have done this with the community, so that the community can talk to the tourist. Even that is a good example, and it was also a reason why tourists invest in that and to come back to see how the plant is growing. How many of us went to a concert? Many. How many of you paid a ticket in trees? This is a forest that we have not far from in Trentino, and it's run by an association of volunteers. It's called Artesella. Last year, 100,000 people went to visit that and paid 10 euros to visit a normal wood. And we have a natural art exposition. And we also held concert in this area. And by having concert in this area, people, by buying the ticket in trees, it was a way of engage them, to tell them why we are sustainable, why this process is important for the destination and for the hotel and even for the association. So this is another problem that we had. People that are running apartments, bed and breakfast, we do waste differentiation, but it's different from country to country. So from talking with industries and destination, we find a common way of communicate to the people that are using these facilities how to differentiate their waste. And that is another example of working together. The regional destination is working together with the hotels and other destinations to give the rules, the way of communicating in a better way. So from my point of view, I would like to thank you, because I have to take back loads of experience from these days. I love the idea of the Loma hour. that I found here is incredible. To share an hour of your time to do something good for the community. And what I wanted to share with you are these examples these are Italy-based, but maybe we can share it together, and because the answer that we have to give are the same. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Stefano. You said something that I really like. The journey to sustainability is a shared journey, and that if we involve tourists in the sustainable activities, that's where the magic happens. That's where we turn them into brand ambassadors or from our brand or destination. So yes, let's continue with Woody, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's truly my honor to be part of the inspiring gathering. Before diving into today's topic, let me start with a few words about myself. I'm Yujeong, also known as Rudy, and I work for the Korean National Park Service. For the past 7 years, I have the privilege of exploring the beauty of nature as a park ranger. Today, I will be talking about sustainability in nature conservation, with a particular focus on the role and responsibility of national park as key protected areas. Let me begin by introducing Korea's beautiful national park first. As you can see that we have 23 national parks across the country, covering a total of more than 6,000 square kilometers. And also, our national parks are divided into 3 types: terrestrial, marine and coastal, and the historical national parks. And also, national parks are also sanctuary for biodiversity. Over 2,000 species live within the natural boundaries. And as of 2024, more than 40 million people visit a national park. Okay, so let's take a closer look at what we do. We focus on conservation of natural resources, and also having contribution about the environmental management. And we also cover the cooperation with the stakeholders. And the last one, we are in charge of disaster and safety management over the decades for the sustainability in national park. So now we are on our project. This is what I'm most excited to share with you today. I'm currently stationed at Deogyusan National Park, where we have launched a meaningful initiative focused on community-based sustainable tourism. As the photo shows, Deogyusan is famous for its breathtaking winter scenery, but it offers something special in every season. The park spans 2 provinces and 4 counties, with Muju County covering the largest portion. Muju is also rich in both natural resources and cultural heritage, where traditional festivals, local markets, and regional crafts are still and thriving. So here's the initiative. Centered around Deogyusan, the region is taking a bold step toward developing sustainable travel guide project, promoting meaningful connection between nature, visitors, and local communities. It's called the Community-Based Sustainable Travel Guide Project, and it's the first ever program to integrate the GSTC standards into Korean national park management practices. The project was sparked by a simple but urgent thought, As global issues like climate change and over-tourism rise, nature conservation must take a more responsible and proactive approach. National park as a core of protected areas need to lead this movement. Organized by Deogyusan National Park, this project is powered by local community members from diverse sectors. Participants identify local destination and activities in Muju and Deogyusan and assess how they align with the GSTC attraction criteria. They then design 1 or 2 nights travel plans that reflect specific sustainable tourism themes, discovering hidden local gems. The beauty of this project is that the guides are shaped by the voices of the locals, such as young farmers and small winery owners, cafe operators, also civic groups and volunteers in National Park. Their real-life stories reflect the genuine value of sustainability. So, at the right part of this slide, this is the project timeline, what I have been doing till now. Since January, we have been carrying out various efforts to develop a sustainable travel guide rooted in the local communities. At the first step, the project provided training on the concept of the relevant concept information. And also, when participated create their own travel plans, the park office reviewed their itinerary and provided feedback, checking whether the plans align with the GSTC standards and including meaningful experience with the Deogyusan National Parks. Through their stories and insight, future visitors can learn how to travel responsibly and in harmony with the local people. So, let me introduce one inspiring case from our participant. This participant is a professional national park volunteer certified under a KNPS program designed to raise awareness and build capacity for nature conservation. What her makes program unique is that it applies its sustainable tourism principles at every stage, from design to implementation. Here is some criteria this program was required. Besides this episode, other 9 teams are working on their sustainable travels. As you can see, that those are all the local gems which will be included in our Deogyusan Sustainable Travel Tourism Guide. So, while I reviewing these practices and experience, I was pleasantly surprised to see how many GSTC indicators were already being met, whether in conservation and visitor service, community engagement, or even eco-friendly facilities in national park in Korea. It showed me that the Deogyusan National Park is not just talking about sustainability, it's living it. So before I close today's presentation, I'd like to share a personal messages as a park ranger, also as a member of the next generation, and as someone who deeply loves nature. I truly hope that more opportunities will be created for local communities, those who live alongside nature every day, to actively participate in conservation efforts. These are the people who hold rich knowledge of the land and also respect for the environment rooted in their way of life. And next, to fully realize their potential, we need to provide professional and structured training opportunities that strengthen their capacity. More importantly, we must listen to their voices and create space for their values to be recognized and respected. And the last thing, I believe the key is the building trust and trust between national parks and communities. Only with that foundation can we work together toward a more sustainable and harmonious nature. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Woody. I love that the Sustainable Travel Guide project included the GSTC standards and that it was powered by the local community with different voices, from people from the farm to cafeteria, you said, artists. I mean, really great. Thank you. Okay, so we heard from our panelists. Let's go ahead with Slido. I'm not seeing anything in my tablet. Okay, let me start then. With one question for Kevin. What could make communicating responsibility easier, Kevin? What do you think? Are those from the last session or ours? Because I don't see it here. Sorry, technical issues.
Try now. Reconnect this. It's not reconnecting. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you. I wasn't saying anything. I thought we had a shy audience. Okay, let's go with the question of Christopher. He says, being as everyone is at different stages in their awareness, what would you say are the top tips for educating people on responsible travel? Who wants to go? Stefano, you're smiling. Come on. Some tips for responsible travel.
It's a difficult question, so thank you, Christopher. So I think it's to engage them while they are actually in their location to take part in some activities. And as Woody was saying, maybe to have these host tourists to take part in some community activities are really important, because I think by living in a destination or running a hotel in a sustainable way is also a way of communicating that we are living as residents, our manager of the hotel, in a better world. So you should behave in that way. So if I have to say in one word, is to make them, not force them, but invite them to participate in activities that are involved with the community. So it's the easiest way and the fastest way to have maybe in the future some more ambassadors. So it's not just what you are promoting as a destination, but you have the tourists be proud of what they have experienced, because they can feel that they are active towards sustainability, because they, as we say in Italy, si sono sporcati le mani. Their hand get dirty. It's like when you do the pasta, and but then you are proud to have been taking part in one of these activities.
How do you encourage visitors to be responsible when you might not have optimal infrastructure to support them? Example, asking for recycling, but just a few bins available. Dr. Yu, I see you smiling.
I smiled because it's very super difficult, but maybe I can share with you guys a story when I was working in North Korea. The Kumgang mountain is very different to us Korean people. It is kind of a spiritual mountain. That means it's very, very clean, even though it is located in North Korea. The North Korean government officials do this their own communist way. They put who maybe they found someone who throw away trash. They just take them to their own. It's like a police station, like that.
So
it's
they
very
act as
scary.
police.
And then they told them, if you really love this mountain, just write something. What is that the activity, the worst activity is, and why did you do that? The tourist should write about 2 or 3 pages about that. It's very painful for them to write about it because they don't realize. They normally do this like in their daily life, just without any realization, they throw away. But when it comes to the tourist areas in Korea, without any reasonable facilities or infrastructures, it is hard to educate the tourists or visitors to do their responsible activities in due time or due spots. But before that, we must provide reasonable facilities and infrastructure first. Without any of this, we cannot push them to do the right things.
Thank you. Another question. Oh, sorry, Stefano.
Sorry. I think this is a great example.
Yes, me too.
Before coming here, I was in Japan. It was difficult to find beans, but there were no waste around. So it's also to educate people like us when you're going around to be ready to have a basket like this one and to use instead of a bin. I think Fiji and this example is really useful.
Thank you, I agree. Another one. Dr. Yang and Mr. Phun, what strategies were most effective in engaging guests and encouraging participation in your meaningful projects and activities?
I didn't smile, you know.
But you were looking at me, so.
Sorry, could you?
I'll repeat.
Yeah.
Kevin, what strategies were most effective in engaging guests and encouraging participation in your meaningful projects and activities?
Okay. Who asked this question?
Anonymous.
I think.
Oh, okay.
I think, yeah. Yeah.
Get them to participate. Because one of the things I struggle with, because I was in the resort, was like trying to pique the guests' interest to be part of meaningful projects. Because they're on holiday, but we also want them to know to like be part of this meaningful project. So I want to know like what ways like did you use like some sort of advertising, like colorful images, or like maybe you use keywords to sort of pique their interest.
Right. I suddenly thought of one of my peers, somebody that I work with quite a bit back home. She's an advocate for women in tourism. She started WIT, and I think she has managed to make some headways, including working in some capacity with organizations like UN Tourism. So I remember we were in the same panel. We were in the same panel in a travel conference, and she raised the example of cases, 1 or 2 cases she used as example. I recall one of them is in the Maldives, where female employment in tourism is still a concern. Very low percentage of engagement of the women there. And she raised, I think, another example also in Nepal, where where it's not straightforward to get the women to be involved in the tourism industry and to have the benefits or the same outcomes as the men. So when you have visitors or tourists going to such places and you want to intentionally create something that will intentionally and meaningfully engage the women, I recall she talked about this word storytelling, how you craft out the story, you know. And I'm going to say something which I think is quite relevant. I often get asked back home in my country, hey, what's the difference between sustainable tourism and responsible tourism? In the words of my former tutor, Harold Goodwin, sustainable tourism is the objective, responsible tourism is the process. I think along in the process, communication plays an important role. How you craft the story so that the audience understands the meaning of doing this. Not everybody will. And so it's a process. I think you get better. Maybe the guests from the UK or some developed places might catch it faster than maybe guests from some other places. Sorry, I'm not stereotyping, but you know, just using as an example. So I kind of concur with what she says about storytelling. I think storytelling is something that it's a skill that we continue honing and crafting to make the other party understands what we're doing and why we're doing. And Prof. Harold says that, you know, it's a process, and the process, you know, is not a straight line. Yeah. Sorry, I think I talked too much.
No, thank you, Dr.
Yeah, thank you for your very timely and meaningful question. The thing is that always, headache to us, because now is time for FIT, for independent travelers' time. 67% of our tourists individual. They don't have no package tours. So it is very hard to reach out to our target market, but whenever we execute with our strategy related to our money value, reward, like I said, always penetrated to the target people. Every tourist at the moment have informed expectations. That motivation we don't need to interpret. The direct and very clear, like many other classrooms said, transparent to reach out to the end users. But it is not enough to expand it to our the public. So we try to our best to educate the public, because we are working for the public at the national level. We're always working with the celebrities, like they're very popular through the Netflix or any other kinds of SNS channels. We try to reach out as many as people through SNS channels to attract them and educate or induce them to be part of our activities. But unfortunately, more direct and more measurable things is reward. Sorry.
Thank you. Woody, this one is for you. Could you share your NP visitor engagement programs, such as mileage program for waste collection? Does it help KNPS manage less waste?
Okay, I think it's a very correct question, but I'd like to share a relevant community-based program in our national park. As I covered a little bit in my presentation, it's called a Korean National Park volunteer program and a citizen college program. Those are programs are aiming to raising awareness for the nature conservation and also protected area across the Korea, and it also ensuring that local people are resident making a big effort on the nature conservation for biodiversity in national park. Let me briefly introduce about the citizen college programs. It's about professional and constructor program for national park policies and management all over the world. And it consists of the 10 classes in a semester. It included lots of topics like nature conservation and the understanding of the Korean National Park introduction, and also cover all of the ranges of national park management and conservation. So all the participants who are engaged in the project have to meet the at least 80% attendees, and also after completing the this college citizen program, they are encouraged to engage and being involved in national park activities such as volunteering, like getting rid of the invasive species and flogging, and something support activity for the local people who especially living in the national park area and villages. So I think those kind of activity and initiatives make local people and residents more engaging and being involved in national park activities and towards the sustainability in national park in Korea. And also, last thing, we also have been implementing various initiatives and activities such as flogging and campaign and other meaningful activity for the managing and conservation national parks. So we additionally, we also have been operating a tourism programs for especially foreign visitors in Korea. So if they come over Korea and participating in such kind of the activity, those can also give us an opportunity to engage and get to know the importance of the national park in Korea. Thank you.
Thank you, Woody. Stefano, I see one for you. It says, Stefano, I agree with your point that sustainability is a must. But how do we actually make it a must? When we say must, it means regulation, I guess. Any idea?
I would avoid regulation, but I think we have to believe in it. If we keep on talking about sustainability and we know that we are in charge of what the climate change it's related to our behavior. So we just have to change our way of approaching sustainability. It's not something that I cannot, I forget to do it, or I have to wait until the municipality, the country will set regulation that I have to be sustainable. I should start acting from today, from little things, and don't think about the consequences, but think about what is happening now, and we have example of what we have been doing to our earth, and now it's time to change. That's the reason why it's a must. We don't have to wait for regulation, but we have to do and act now. Starting from the way of running your company, using solar power energy, using more transportation when you go to work, and is what destination should also say to tourists when they're coming to their location. I took the flight to come here, and Fiji on the plane was telling me that they will compensate the CO2 emission that I've done. And even that is a way of making tourists aware, while they're on the only way for me to reach the destination, that the destination is more aware about sustainability issue. They didn't have to do it, but it's a good way of make me think about Fiji in a different way.
Thank you. Oh, I see one for me. It's anonymous. I don't know from who. It says, Steph, how can storytelling be used to emotionally connect travelers to local responsibilities without guilt-tripping or overwhelming them? Oh, good one. I mean, I think storytelling is so powerful. It's how we connect as humans. So it's where the magic happens, really. I would say it has to answer the 3 W's. The what, What are we asking them to do? The why, what's the purpose of it? What's the outcome of that activity? And then the when, the planning of the whole thing, that's very important for them too. And I think if you add also a little bit of fun to it, I think that's the magic recipe. Thank you. Okay, another one from Chris Adams. Responsible travel relies on government, business, and travelers all to do their part. How do you educate government and business leaders to invest in responsible travel? I see thinking faces right now. Go. Thank you, Kevin.
Welcome. I'll keep it brief. More than 10 years ago, I was telling you that sustainable tourism is an alien concept from where I come from. And I was talking to a few tour operators, 2 DMCs back home last year, and 1 or 2 travel agents. Because they were telling me that in the last few years, the RFPs, there is now a stronger business case for sustainability. Some of the clients, for example, some of their customers from Europe are asking them questions that they find it quite hard to answer. Do your tours support sustainability? Do you do this, that? So they ask me, wow, this is new, you know. My staff, by and large, people in my office are not quite able to answer these questions. So maybe 10, 15 years ago, the business case was weaker. And now I have, on the average, every few months, someone from a tour operator or a travel agency would come and ask me, oh, do you know anything about certification? Or I heard there's this GSTC, you know. Yeah, so in this specific case, the RFPs have made a stronger case for CEOs and the owners of all these tour operators and the travel agencies to sit up and research or learn about this thing that they were not aware of. Yeah, that's my part. I'll leave the other part to my 3 fellow speakers.
Okay, Dr. Yi, you want to comment on this one?
I don't think educate is a good expression, but educate business leaders is, I want to share, change to just share information and share their ultimate goals in terms of GDS, something like that. And the business leaders at the moment, they all have a ESG plan and ESG strategy, but they do their own version of ESG activities, many kinds of activities through many channels. I think that is the current situation. There are many different kinds of different versions of climate-friendly, eco-friendly activities. Why? Because they cannot sacrifice their core business. That is their best things. But when it comes to tourism, this is to be very frank with you guys, me included, that we cannot, for the rest of 30 more years in KTO, we cannot change people. It is very difficult to change people, but when it comes to tourists is another species, like some. We are very hard to change. I try my best, just exemplify myself. I try my best to use only 1 towels for my stay, but it's very hard over 3 days. So, I don't want to highlight some individual cases, but sorry, it's somewhat negative, but it's not so negative. Do as I said, not as I do. I want to avoid this kind of attitudes. So, me first, to do my best, before educating other people, me first. Me first movement is the very needed stage at the moment. I studied George Washington University, sustainable tourism. The first class, Dr. Donald Dawkins, maybe somebody know that, asked open question like, what is your definition of sustainable tourism? Somebody, right at the end of the low hand, and he replied, he think sustainable tourism is hard to make money. But yeah, we developed, we progressed many years, but we still long way to go, I think. We try our best from the level of government, but yeah.
Thank you.
Can I, Steph, answer to one question, 30 seconds? What was the response from having people pay with trees for the concert?
Yes, I was going to ask you that one.
Okay, so,
are there any learnings you could share?
Definitely. And first of all, the concert was made with a person that was really well known, so it was easy to sell the 200 tickets that we had supposed to sell. So it went sold out. Plus, we managed to get a sponsorship of a company that joined and put the same money value of what the people invested in the trees. So we doubled up the income for that event. So this is the suggestion to give you, and because maybe even government or politicians now, since sustainability is really fashionable, but they don't have a clue how to invest their money. And sometimes they have the money, but they don't have the good ideas to do it.
Thank you, Stefano. Woody, I have one for you.
Yeah, I just found out.
We have 1 minute, 45 seconds.
Okay.
So the question is, what's the best impact of community guides? It is actually, it went up. I lost it. Well, what's the best impact of your community guides? I cannot.
Okay, don't worry. I remember
I was like,
the question.
where are my glasses? And I have them
Okay,
here.
our initiative that I have covered earlier is still in the progress and is expected to be completed at the end of November this year. And I hope that this initiative aims to raise and inspire the sustainable tourism culture in protected area, especially in national park and the community within or near the national park. So I hope that the people who visited in national park to realize the importance, role, commitment, and the value of a national park in the long-term perspective.
Thank you so much. Okay, 20 seconds. Do you want to say final remarks or anything? Stefano, go.
If I'll follow the answer because I left some time for the others. So it was really nice to have these 3 concerts, paying in three tickets, because as we engage the same people to come another day to our destination to plant those trees that they have invested for the concert. So, and plus, it was also an additional plus regarding communication because nobody else have done it before, and so that destination, that association got a lot of feedback from TV and everything. So it was a good idea, and it started 3 years ago, and every year they do a concert paid by three ticketing.
I love it. I want to go. Thank you so much. Our time is up. A big thank you to all our amazing panelists. I hope you enjoyed and that you're leaving with fresh ideas and inspiration. I have to say something before we leave. Please don't forget. Oh, can you put up the slide, please? The shuttles to go to Port de Narao for dinner are leaving at 5:40. And the shuttles to De Narao, Wailoaloa, and Nadi are leaving from 6 p.m. Okay. Okay, we're good. Thank you so much.